The time is coming swiftly. The middle rounds are no place for the unskilled. Yet here you are, unprepared, you fools. This season you will find all kinds of foes, eager to watch your draft crumble with wasted picks. There can only be one ultimate draft kit. Only one that can bend them to its will. And it does not share power. You must wield the UDK and send your opponents back to the shadows. You shall not pass. On this chance to send your league mates into the deep. Fly, you fools, to ultimatedraftkit.com.
Welcome to the Fantasy Footballers Podcast with your hosts, Andy Holloway, Jason Moore, and Mike Wright.
Oh, welcome in. The Fantasy Footballers, Wednesday, August 12th. Mike, the Fantasy Hitman, Jason Moore, Andy Holloway. Back at it. Top 10 running back show. We'll jump into some mailbag. We got lots going on. It is that time of year. We're in the midst of an opportunity for that UDK for life if you want to win that.
What an opportunity it is.
What an opportunity, Mike.
For life?
For life.
Goodness.
And a signed Jahmyr Chase jersey. Pick up the UDK before August 24th. Use it to prepare for your draft. Set the foundation for your team. We are priming up. Draft season is here. I cannot wait. I've had some opportunities to trade some picks, and I've not done it simply because I don't want to take away some of my draft day fun.
Understandable.
And one thing you've always said is that your draft picks can't get injured.
No.
So if you trade some draft picks for keepers,
their groins are fine.
Right.
Yeah,
much like J.K. Dobbins, everything is fine.
Yeah, can't get hurt. No, if you trade for him, you're fine. No, it was like yesterday, I think Jason and I were talking a little, it was a bigger deal. It was some Hampton and Jacobs and other pieces, and I passed on it. And then the next morning, you get the news that like Puka Nacua and Jacobs could still face discipline.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just thinking about
You like discipline.
where my headspace would have been.
Yeah, it would have been great. You would have.
I would have just been. I mean, he might not. I mean, I still think the odds are probably maybe that he doesn't. But
we hadn't heard anything about it for
quite
some time. And then,
I would have been so.
And
upset.
then a reporter who will not be named on this podcast delivered some news that.
Is that who it was?
Yeah.
You don't name him now?
No.
Okay. But what's his name? Schmom.
Oh man.
Schmelicero?
No. Oh no.
It wasn't him?
What? No.
Oh, he's moved past Tom.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, me and Tom I'd squash that beef. Like me and him.
I see.
He's got the
Me and him
new-
are cool
yeah.
now.
You're talking about
Whoa,
the big dog.
whoa, big dog.
Michael.
Mike, I've known you for 20 years.
Yeah.
You hold grudges. You do. You pick a few. You do it on both sides. You got your favorite guys that you hold on
and
to
you will
forever.
never let go.
Yeah.
That you'll never let go of.
Yeah.
Trey Lance
I'm
in the
a
house.
loyal person.
Ben Sinnott.
And then you.
Any minute.
I am the Senate.
But then if it's the wrong side, it's a forever thing. It feels like.
I was slighted.
At the FF Ballers on X, quick question comes in. Describe the trash talk between the three of you in your leagues. What are your main tactics? Are there any comparisons to a character or evil villain?
Ooh.
Describe yourself or one of the other ballers. Who's the biggest trash talker when things are going right among the three of Jason?
I don't know that. Do you think?
I
think I'm the biggest complainer when
We
things
just don't
go
have a lot of
wrong.
Yeah, you are the
chances.
whiniest of babies.
for sure.
Yeah. That's not trash talking. You trash talk yourself.
I think
you dog yourself.
my usual go to when it's not trash talk, but it's the same spirit of what you're talking about, is the early congratulations, the building you up, the setting you, it's like telling someone how well they're playing at golf to try to throw them off their game.
Trash
No, but
talk
it's like
is
gift talking.
Yeah, exactly. That's my version.
I would say Mike has become pretty annoying
It's,
in recent history because
insufferable.
Insufferable.
Because I won both the leagues? What is the problem here?
Yep, that'll do it.
Yeah,
I'm just champing over here, man.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's annoying because what happens is like
I know the truth is pretty annoying.
We have a lot of
sometimes.
conversations, and then you'll just inject yourself in as the guy that's going to win instead of these other conversations all the time.
I think one of my favorite trash.
I do have a lot of confidence in my dynasty team.
Your dynasty team is what I'm talking about.
I will
Would
say
you like
this.
to read through my roster?
No, so
I looked at it. I don't know how it stops for 10 years.
the other day, I was making a trade. I've got a solid roster in our dynasty
Yes,
league.
your dynasty team's pretty good.
I'm competing along with
Silver
the best
will
of
look good on you.
And thank you.
there it is.
And I was looking at trades in the league, and I've got the whole, where you see the whole league at once on the board, and I came across your team. I start just reading, and I was just like, so no, you're so good. That team is loaded. I was like, wait,
out.
And the bench.
Jahmyr Chase and CeeDee and George Pickens.
Yeah.
And Ken Bone walking into freaking Kansas City, who we'll talk about today.
Did you see who was on my bench, Jay? Do you remember who was
His
there?
bench is great, too.
No, I don't.
Garrett Wilson.
Oh, my God.
He doesn't
That
even
guy
need
can't
him.
even crack my starting
Shut-
roster.
This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
This is exactly
It's
what I'm
just
talking
a good team.
Most people, if they don't, I mean, you should do what you're doing. It's just that
Win?
we
Yeah,
have
I'm doing
to.
it.
A lot of people have to equivocate
Yeah,
because
me.
there are paths to losing, and you're in a position where you're like, your bench is much better than my starting roster
Well, that's not fair. Your team isn't. Your team. You have blown your team up for a rebuild
on purpose.
Yes.
Yeah. Repo Man showed up.
Yeah. No. I mean
He's
that
like,
you can't
you didn't
compare.
pay.
You can't compare that.
No, but like you're not going to win, Jay. Did you?
How
know, did
dare you?
Did you know that you're not going to win this year? You won't. You won't be winning,
It just takes 1 week for
You
Mike to
won't-
lose.
no.
One bad week.
and you won't have it.
It's going to be a.
This is
Tough.
how good my team is.
Your
Other
team is very
people will talk garbage for me.
Oh, my
That's what I
God.
just did, didn't I?
One-
I'm your co-man. My team's name in that league right now is Mike's Butt.
Yeah. Because in our league, the winner gets to name the last place team, and current placeholder is Mike's butt.
That's fine, Mike. You and Mike was like the silver medalist a couple times, and he
Yes.
was on. We were taunting with that when we had two titles.
All right.
Anyways,
Look, we're this far in. I hate this. Why? What a stupid question that has got us now talking about Mike's team. But
I
people are
would
going to
never do that.
People are
'cause
going to
my
want to
team-
know.
My team only has Gibbs, Walker, Hampton, CD, Amon-Ra in our league of record.
Yeah.
And then like a bunch of picks.
So here's Mike's team. He's got Joe Burrow and Jared Goff with Flacco behind Burrow.
Yeah.
This is his dynasty team.
Christian McCaffrey. So you got age here, McCaffrey and Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
And Kenbone Walker and Jahmyr Chase
is
and
that the
CeeDee
end of
Lamb and
running backs?
George Pickens.
Jordan Mason probably, right?
Yeah, and Rico.
Pat,
And all three insurance running backs.
Yeah, and you got Pat Bryant, who's been the
bro, Pat Bryant?
Mm-hmm. And Garrett Wilson.
This is the best show we've ever done.
And Dontavian Wicks. Oh, and Trey McBride.
Oh, yeah. Wait, did you say Loveland?
He has McBride.
Oh, you have Loveland too. Oh my gosh. This is disgusting. I'm out. I'm quitting this league. I don't like this league.
You have
Also-
McBride and Loveland.
All of my picks.
Oh my god.
All of them.
You never traded anyway?
No.
This is the greatest constructed roster.
I hate everything.
Cheers,
Cheers, everybody.
We cannot do this show anymore.
No, I'm
Let's move on.
News and notes from around the league.
The NFL Network, Ian Rappaport, talking about the fact Puka Nacua is dealing with minor soreness. He had left with a trainer. It's in his groin. It's been a bad week for groins.
You know, as Jason would say, just do a butterfly
they
stretch.
got someone teach these dudes how to butterfly stretch. That's obviously what's missing.
You sit on your butt.
Mm-hmm.
You bring your feet together, and it looks like you got two little butterfly wings.
you push
You've
down.
lost
you-
me. They don't know what that is. There's no way.
High concept.
Emeka Ibuka limped off with trainers, and that was today.
Yeah, this is like 20 minutes
He's
ago.
watching the rest of practice with his cleats off. No other reports. If we get one before the end of the day, we'll let you know.
I do like that the follow was Abuka with both cleats off.
Yeah.
Thank you for specifying both of them.
I mean, I guess if you have one off, you think maybe it's just that's the leg, that's the ankle. I don't know. It's just a funny report.
Mike Evans did return to practice with the quad injury.
There he goes.
And J.K. Dobbins returned to practice. Well, returned to individual drills.
Yes.
So
nothing to see here.
No, everything's fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah, good luck, J.K. Stay healthy. Today should be fun. We're counting down the top 10 running backs, all of our consensus rankings, player projections, sleepers, breakouts, bust values are in the UDK at ultimatedraftkit.com. Let's go ahead and jump right in.
Running backs.
All right. What makes a top 10 running back in fantasy? Since 2015, among those finishing in the top 10, 79% averaged 19 or more opportunities per game. That was part of your discussion with Hampton yesterday, trying to get to that number. 72% of top 10 running backs saw at least 50 targets. You want to be involved in the passing game.
And the 28% is named
Derrick
Henry.
Henry.
It feels like, yeah, that's pretty much it. And then 94% of top 5 running backs had 10 or more total touchdowns. So that's a huge number. That's nearly everyone always 10 or more total touchdowns. You would have to be basically Eckler levels of like receiving work.
I mean, 94%. That's like if you want to be, you have to have the touchdown upside, which
and that's
is
in
why
the last 11 years. So you're talking about a large sample.
Yeah, I mean that's why we prefer players on good teams. Teams that are going to win are going to score more points, and it's not always the case, but you really need 10 touchdowns.
The average, if you just average out the last 10 years, it's 20 opportunities, 255 rushing attempts, 1,182 yards. So you don't have to lead the league in rushing by any stretch. 10.5 rushing touchdowns, 68 targets, 53 catches, 436 receiving yards, and 2 receiving touchdowns, 2.7.
Before we move on, I figured I'd look this up since we were just talking. You need 10 touchdowns. Here is the current sportsbook top 5 for 10 or more rushing touchdowns.
Oh, nice.
Number 1, Jahmyr Gibbs
has
the highest odds to get 10 touchdowns, ahead of Derrick Henry, who's number 2. Jonathan Taylor, number 3. James Cook, number 4. And number 5, Kyron Williams. I did that whole bit to get to Kyron Williams.
Yeah. They're a good team.
Well, if you're gonna do the top, you got to do the top 5.
Right. Yeah. Of course.
Well,
number 6, Blake Corum. No, I'm just kidding. Who's number 6?
6 is Javonte Williams.
Okay. I mean, that says something.
Yeah.
And then
he doesn't. He'll have the targets. The yards will be like 112.
Yeah, it's worth noting, the debate at 101 of Gibbs versus Bijan. We haven't said Bijan's name, and that to me is the.
I have moved Gibbs ahead.
Yeah.
So I think we're fully unanimous now of Gibbs should be the first pick.
Number 10.
By the way, Josh Allen is at 11.5 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, he would be third on this list as far as odds to get to 10.
Chase Brown at number 10. Jason and Mike have him at 8. I have him at 11. I love Chase Brown as well. It's just how it broke down. He is it's a perfect situation for Cincinnati, I think, with Chase Brown being their back. He's been so consistent the last 2 years. Just look at the points per game numbers, 14.3, 14.6. There have been reports in camp of him lining up in the slot more. He is a pass catcher. He is not a triple B, right? He's not a big-bodied back.
No,
he's not going to – but that's what I'm saying. For Cincinnati, it's
but
awesome.
He's not,
because
he's right in that he's 5'10", 210 is what I see listed. Like that is 210 to 215 is truly a –
yeah, you could take the
It's
work.
like that's the perfect weight where you can be agile enough to work in the receiving game, and you're still big enough to go between the tackles.
Chase
he
Brown
only had 5 games last year in the 17 where he scored a rushing touchdown.
Yes, that is
Yeah.
true, but obviously the team environment to be able to score a lot of touchdowns,
double-digit touchdowns.
the Bengals would be there. I mean, here's the nice thing. You have to remember last year how bad the beginning of the season was for the Bengals. Burrow got off to a slow start, got injured, and then they didn't have Flacco until week 6. So that team environment, Chase Brown, a lot of people are like, he's just a product of the team environment. And maybe that's true.
Fine.
Because the team environment is
Yes.
fantastic. And now Joe Flacco is the backup. So should Burrow go down, we saw Chase Brown be fine with Flacco. If you look at Flacco from week 6 on, you've got
You mean Chase Brown?
Chase Brown from the Flacco weeks. That would be, he was on pace for 1,200 yards, 7 rushing touchdowns, 93 targets with 7 receiving touchdowns. He was better than the running back 8 finish that he had last year, and that's pretty darn good.
Chase Brown he's one of my favorite picks in fantasy. I think he is a talented running back, but the situation is just so perfect. He does, he's not, that the like McCaffrey, Gibbs, Bijan player where if everything goes terrible for the Bengals, it will. I don't think Chase Brown can overcome that, but they're set up in such a situation of this year where they're more protected than ever. Andy, you said they're talking about lining him up in the slot. We like hearing that little news blurb. They're also talking of just an emphasis of this year, as seems like more and more teams are now, is, okay, we're going to get back to under center. We want more explosive runs from Chase Brown, who was already a pretty explosive player from that week 6 on, when Joe Flacco kind of fixed the offense through the ending with Burrow. Chase Brown's running for 5.1 a carry. He was already a very efficient running back on the ground during that time.
320 opportunities last year. Are you perfectly comfortable with him as your RB1?
Yes.
100%.
Yeah, if you want to start with a high-level elite wide receiver and then come back and get Chase Brown,
that's like
that
my
feels good.
favorite start when you're in the middle to late. If you can get Amon-Ra St. Brown, or
Right.
sometimes JSN goes 4th, but assuming that Amon-Ra goes as the 4th wide receiver gone and come back around and grab Chase Brown, I adore that start. The depth chart around him is just, it's a
Right.
30-year-old Samaje Perine is the backup, and then it's Taj Brooks.
Yeah.
There's no one else here.
He has matrix
compete.
dodged the
draft,
last few drafts.
the free agent market. Yeah,
The only kind of negative about Chase Brown, his red zone success rate has been bad. 13 carries inside the 5 2 years ago, only 6 touchdowns on the 13 carries, and that's inside the 5. 13 carries inside the 5 last year, only 4 rushing touchdowns, 31% of those converted. The most opposite compared to
Number 9.
Derrick Henry. Forever and always.
the Yeti.
I
king.
didn't realize how low I have him. Interesting. He comes in at 9. I guess I have him at ADP.
yeah. I don't blame you for having him there. I've got him at running back 6, and I don't
I got him at 12.
love it. I mean, there's tons of risk. D'Angelo Williams was the last running back to be 32 years old or older with 10 rushing touchdowns. It's not an easy feat, and this, I know he's a Yeti, but guys, he's actually a human being.
Yeah, I mean it's.
I've heard.
There are some changes, right? The offense is changing. We have a new system in place. We'll see what that becomes. Mike, you got him at 7. His sleeper ADP is RB12, so you get him late round 2. That seems great. I mean, it's where I have him ranked. I would take him at ADP with no qualms.
I mean, he was the running back 3, the running back 2, missed half a season as the running back 16, then the running back 4, then the running back 8, then the running back 2, then the running back 7. It's like he is just a top 10 running back every year of his career. The only thing is, did Father Time catch up? And that's if it hasn't, and it.
Let me read the concerns on the top 10 ranking shows that we've had for him over the last 5 years. So in 2021, we said he has a lack of targets.
Which
No,
was true.
2021. In 2022, we said the age was starting to become a concern. In 2023, we
That was
said
a long time ago.
age and wear and tear. In 2024, we said age. In 2025, Fifth season in a row, basically, with an age concern.
Yeah.
It's the Frank Gore. Now, it did end up happening at some point in time. They do, if you want to look at a way it kind of slows, I don't think it goes to nothing. That's where I think the pick is fine. You've got a new offensive system, and you've got an offensive line that just lost, like, we talked about Jeanty. They picked up Tyler Lindenbaum. He's gone. They lost their all-pro fullback in Ricard. Gone. They lost their tight end, Charlie Kohler, got a big contract to go to Los Angeles. They lost Isaiah Likely. They're the 26th ranked offensive line. And this is, he's not going to have 50-plus receptions. So,
and
that would be the maybe things could slow a little bit. But they're projected to win a bunch of games. And when they win,
when they win, Derrick Henry scores a ton of points. And the way to stop Henry is you hit the train before it starts going. So if the offensive line is not giving him some room to at least get a couple steps to get up to speed, then things may not be so great. It's really just age. Do you want to bet that this is the year that Henry falls off? Then avoid him.
It just feels like at ADP, that's like that would be a fall off.
So
like if at the end of the year you're like, Henry finished at RB12, you're like, oh crap! But that's where you're drafting him.
And the thing is I don't think that there's a world where he finishes as 12. He's going to finish like 18, and it didn't happen. He got 8 touchdowns, or he's going to finish at 8 or better. The question I have is, like, if you're at that point in the draft and you're not drafting your first running back, would you rather pair your first running back with Derrick Henry or like Jeremiah Love, the young, the complete opposites? The high
I'd rather
upside.
pair your first running back with Henry every time.
Yeah,
I just feel like it's so solid.
And Henry has historically, as the temperatures drop, he does transform into the Yeti as it gets cold, and
that's science. That's not like a bit.
No. This
is like
the bit is it snowing in Vermont?
Right.
Because that's like Groundhog Day.
I don't know. People probably don't notice. We sometimes we goof around. This is science.
But I'm saying, so I know that at the halfway point or whatever of the year, Derrick Henry will hit transformation 3, and then he'll just start dominating again. But the first 6 matchups for the Baltimore Ravens,
baby,
favorite.
It's not just favorite, but these aren't great defenses. Colts, Saints, Cowboys, Titans, Falcons. Oh my,
yeah,
it should be fine. All right, we'll take a break and we'll continue the countdown. Before we continue the countdown, when we say this is science, we want to read this to you. Yards per attempt for Derrick Henry, September, 4.31. October, there's a little crisp in the air, 4.78.
Oh, now
November?
Now it's getting chilly.
It's a little, put on a windbreaker, put on a jacket. December, 5.26. January, 6.09. The longer, that's not how age works, brother.
Yeah.
That's how a freak of nature works.
It's how tackling a car works. I mean, it's just.
I'd rather, if I have to tackle a car, I'd rather not be freezing.
Right. Give me a car in September.
It's like the season is a hill and he picks up speed. That's how it seems. So that's the data. He does get better over time. The team also just starts riding him when the weather gets bad.
It always feels like to start the year, they're like, we're going to try to open this up. And then by the end of the year, they're like, we should just keep giving the ball to Henry.
Jacoby Lane, he's probably going to take over the entire league.
Hey,
he's the only player I got on that dynasty team of mine.
Maybe.
Number 8.
Ashton Jeanty comes in at number 8, just 22 years old. I got him at 7. Jason at 7. Mike at 11. He is the RB6 by ADP. I can't believe I'm below ADP on Ashton Jeanty.
The ADP is a bummer.
You are you got to get a great performance from Jeanty for that first round draft capital. We know the workload's going to be there. Mm-hmm. We know the upgrade in play calling is there with Clint Kubiak. We know they added Tyler Lindenbaum, the aforementioned all-pro center from Baltimore that is there to help solidify an offensive line. You certainly, I think, have a lot of reasons to like what you've seen from Jeanty so far. Efficiency-wise, they weren't good numbers as a rookie, but he had so much volume, and those things are not necessarily sticky. I think the upside of Jeanty is pretty high. I mean, I don't think that Jeanty – I think he could finish as the RB1. I mean, I think that's possible for Ashton Jeanty with the targets. His target totals, we all have him above, 65 targets on the year. That fits the threshold. We all have him about or above double-digit touchdowns. That fits the threshold. And we all have the opportunities pretty high. I just
so the
doesn't mean that I think he'll be number one. It just certain guys can do it, certain guys can't.
Yeah, the biggest negative is that he's on a poor team that does not project to score a ton of points. And so that's, are you going to get the double-digit touchdowns? That one that 94% of these top 10 backs get. It's a hard environment to see it happening. Now, as a reminder, he had 10 touchdowns last year. So he had 5 receiving, 5 rushing. He is a freak of nature talent-wise. I do think that this offense will be significantly better. The combination of Clint Kubiak and the offensive line upgrades.
And the health of Brock Bowers.
And Kirk Cousins coming in to start as far as like dumping off the ball. I mean, you saw when Bijan was there with Kirk Cousins, he was thriving in the passing game. To me, I think I'm very in on Ashton Jeanty. Unfortunately, seems like everybody is. And so that's where the ADP is at running back 6. That's kind of, I've got him as my running back 7, so I think you're drafting him where he kind of belongs. I don't necessarily think it's an easy path for him to finish top 3. He's talented
73
enough.
73 targets last year, over 50 receptions.
Yeah, he's certainly talented enough. I agree with you. He could be.
Who do they want to throw the ball to? Who else can you?
It's Brock Bowers and Jeanty. That's it. Brock Bowers and Jeanty.
So Mike has him a little bit lower. I think Mike has brought up with whether it's Achane, whether it's Jeanty. Like, you don't want a running back on a losing team, but certain ones can thrive.
Those two players to me are the. Like I went and I compared those two guys next to each other, and my interpretation was that I think that the Raiders offense will be improved versus last year, and the Dolphins offense will be worse than it was last year.
Wow.
And then when I look at
that's bad.
Yeah. And then when I look
at really bad.
The talent of both guys, both outrageously talented, I think Ashton Jeanty is the better, more talented running back. Now that's where
it's funny. I have them ranked the same. I probably disagree on those 2 points. I think Achane's the better back, better receiver, and I think the Dolphins will be, a pretty okay offense relative to Las Vegas. But we both know that Jeanty's going to get a workload, and it's hard to get guaranteed 300-plus opportunities.
It is you have the issue too of Fernando Mendoza is just waiting to take over. Like, could he be better than Kirk Cousins? Yeah, that is a variable, but just historically, it's hard to make a transition to being a professional quarterback. They don't come in and put up a whole bunch of stats, especially when it comes to touchdowns. So there's a chance that halfway through the year, the offense gets worse as they're trying to acclimate Mendoza and look forward to 2027. The opening schedule. Cupcake Miami, that's fantastic, but then it's the Chargers. Saints, okay, but Chiefs at Patriots, at home against Buffalo. Like that, this is an absolute this is a horrifically bad opening schedule for the Raiders. And I guess, Jay, my question for you is because Ashton Jeanty's a great player, but historically, one of your philosophies is you want to know for sure your first rounder is going to work.
Yeah, it's safe.
And it exactly is safe. Because everyone in the first round has massive upside. They wouldn't be in the first round if they didn't. But Ashton Jeanty feels very unsafe to me compared to the other guys there.
I would agree that he is a riskier pick at that point. Where I've taken Ashton Jeanty in drafts is oftentimes at the beginning of the second round. And so then it's totally fine.
Yeah, so you don't think he's safe?
I do not. I don't think the environment is safe at all.
You're a big Kubiak fan, though, right?
I am.
Yeah, I like what they did with the line. I think he's a safe pick. It's you have to decide between a bunch of guys in this range.
That's the issue for me is.
But I mean, I don't think Hampton feels safe. Hampton feels exciting.
I feel safer in the environment of the Chargers being a top 10 scoring offense.
Yeah,
like versus the Raiders feel like they'll probably be a bottom 10.
It's funny because it's like we Chase Brown feels safer.
Yes, he does to me.
But I guess what you're doing here when you draft Jeanty is you're taking your percentage chance at the running back 1 overall. That's what you're signing up for. You're getting a guy who can. I don't think Chase Brown would be the running back 1 overall. Jeanty has that kind of built-in talent where
he was the RB12 last year, and I don't know if I saw a worse situation for a running back in the league. I mean, the worst team in the league, the worst quarterback in the league,
the worst coordinators in the league, the worst offensive line coaches in the league last year.
All of it was terrible. I just think the volume will outpace it, but that's why the debate's fun. Yeah, you're back. Okay. Yeah. Is this guy safe?
Number 7.
Don't care.
It's Ken Walker.
It's safe.
So funny because he's, I think he's very safe.
Yes. I think he is.
He's very safe, but
I think his volume is way safer than people are really.
Oh, I thought you were going to say than Jeanty. I was like, that's crazy.
No. But I'm saying like I think he's going to be an incredibly high volume player. You can go to the health, which I mean in terms of games played, he's really only had 1 year that was a major bummer. His rookie and sophomore year, he played 15 games. If a running back misses 2 games, that's considered totally normal. 11 in 2024, okay, that's an injury problem. And then he plays the whole year last year. Obviously, it felt like the opportunities were being throttled with Zach Charbonnet coming in. But they gave him the cash.
I have zero concerns about Kenneth Walker.
They immediately went to go get him. And all reports coming out of training camp for what this team, the identity of this team, how much they're going to lean on Ken Walker, and in the receiving game as well. I like Walker at 209 is theft.
I mean, Andy
in my
Reid,
opinion.
Mahomes back, great offensive line, no threat in the red zone, no threat in the passing game. Maybe Brashard Smith takes some opportunities, whatever. The identity of the team is built around Kenneth Walker now. If he can just,
when Andy Reid has a
stay
true
healthy,
stud,
he's going to be a monster.
When Andy Reid has a stud at the running back position, their workhorse.
Yeah,
like that's what he does. He hasn't had a stud for years.
They're going to give him absolutely everything.
Yeah,
and this
is very safe.
He is. So here's my view of Walker. Absolute monster. I agree with you, Mike. Steal of a draft at the back of the second for a guy who's going to get all the work for a team that's going to win a ton of games, who is very talented with a great offensive line, everything.
With a top 10 offensive line.
He is every single check mark perfect across the board, and I'm just waiting to see how it doesn't work. That's how it feels. Because somehow, some way, every year, whether it's injury,
people are agreeing.
He played
with that.
the entire season last year for the Super Bowl champs. He's the running back 22. It's somehow, some way, I feel like he's just built to disappoint. But how? I don't know how. I don't know how it's going to happen.
I honestly think it's just going to be fine. I think it'll be something that we look back at the beginning of Ken Walker's career with all those question marks, and I've gotten to the point where I'm like, I can't find the pathway where it doesn't work out other than injury, which is everybody's pathway to not work out. So
he's going to be awesome.
Agreed.
Number 6.
All right, this guy ends up ahead of him because of me, I think.
Yes.
This is one of the flag plants that my numbers bore out. Mike, what are you doing over there?
I hate.
You hate your ranking?
I hate everything about this situation.
It's Devon Achane.
Because Achane is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Devon Achane, I have him at 4. I got him as my running back 4. You guys at 10 and 9, being drafted at 8. Obviously, I can't escape the talent and the volume that I think we're going to see. I like Malik Willis. I think the offense will get some stuff done. There was a really funny clip, I think 2 days ago, with his head coach saying he's going to give him 40 to 45 opportunities a game, that he will literally not let him tap his head to come off the field.
That he will carry him back to the sideline after 40 carries a game. Like, I mean, you can't dream as a fantasy football manager for any coach to say anything better, because there was no sarcasm, not joke. I mean, obviously it was hyperbolic, but he's literally telling us the truth, which is he gets everything. He's the center of the offense.
This is a situation where I'm just – everybody has to pick their players that they're in on, and you can always create storylines of why you believe or don't believe. This is one where I believe the fantasy community is making a horrible mistake in doubting the production of Devon Achane by carving out a bunch of reasons why it might not work for Miami. 100% of his games last year on a horrible team, he was above 10.5 fantasy points. That is the best, most consistent running back that you had in football. The identity of this team, the talent of this player, it's just one where I'm like, I think we're going to screw up overanalyzing what can go wrong and not recognizing how many opportunities this player is going to have over the course of the year.
Yeah, I have him lower in
and he can score at any minute.
He
like
can.
Gibbs. I mean, he is a Gibbs
That's why
level.
I hate this.
He's a Gibbs level talent to me.
Yeah, he's awesome. I would love to have Achane on my roster. I still like where I have him ranked at 10, which is obviously well behind you. I won't end up with a lot of him simply because I think when push comes to shove and I'm deciding between these running backs we're talking about, all of these guys, the Jeanty or Achane, the Walker Achane, the Chase Brown or Achane, like I'm going to end up with those other guys over Achane, and I could be making that terrible mistake like a lot of people are making that you're predicting, Andy. My rationale for that is, the last 2 years, no one has thrown to the ball to the running back more than Tua. You lose Tua. You then replace him with a quarterback who can scramble and have mobility. They're still going to throw the ball a lot to Achane, but I would expect he gets fewer targets in the passing game than he had with McDaniel and Tua. So if that comes down a little bit, and like I just said a minute ago, I think their offense is worse this year than it was last year, losing Waddle. Obviously, you've got McDaniel,
just noise,
Waddle.
Man, just noise,
sure. But
in my estimation, remember when Cam Newton couldn't throw to running backs?
Right, no, that's what I said. He's going to get a lot of targets. But are you saying you think Malik Willis will, without Mike McDaniel, Malik Willis will target Achane more this year? I think
he'll get the same amount of targets. I mean, we weren't talking about 105 Eckler targets. We're talking about 85 targets. Yeah, I think he'll get 85 targets. You said they don't have Waddle? Where do targets go?
Vacated targets from wide receivers often go to running back.
So I'm just saying, like, to me, it's noise. I'm not saying what you're saying is invalid at all. I'm saying, to me, these are things that I think will get me a discount on him. For you, it won't be a discount because you won't have him. It's just a flag plant for me on the talent.
Where is he going ADP wise? Is he ahead of
early
going
second?
At 8.
Okay, so just as far as running backs go,
it's right for me. The hard part is it's right next to Chase Brown.
Hampton, Chase Brown,
and
Walker.
I prefer Chase Brown.
Yeah, Hampton, Chase Brown, Walker going behind him. That'll be tough. I mean, yeah, obviously incredible talent. Where did he finish last year?
6.
Okay.
With his best points per game of his career.
He had 12 touchdowns.
Yeah. I mean, the nice thing about him, he's exactly like Gibbs, where on any play, even if they're up, I mean, he had so many late fourth quarter games put out of reach, goes and scores from 65 yards. To me, he got paid.
The other thing,
I mean, nobody talks about this. The commitment to him, he's their face of the franchise. And then you go listen to the coach talk.
I hate that I can't argue.
Yeah,
like anything you're saying, I'm like, yeah, no, those are all true things.
On the plus and the negative side, everything is true. The one maybe tiebreaker when I'm looking at this is if he does get like 30 touches a game, which would be outrageous. He's 191 pounds. I mean, he's probably heavier now.
30.
But my point is, like, there's also he's undersized to be carry an entire team for 2 seasons in a row. So,
all right, moving on.
Number 5.
James Cook just keeps getting better. 12.4 fantasy points per game, up to 15, up to 16.8 last year. I mean,
man, he feels like he gets no respect, even in my heart.
I think we got there. He's there for me mentally.
He's elite tier.
We are number 5, number 4.
He's got to let it wash over you.
I mean, he's being drafted. I mean, being drafted as the RB5 off the board, I think we got there, Jay. I think it came with last year's performance, leading the league in rushing.
I guess where I'm at is I never, ever, ever take James Cook because he's going where the last of the elite wide receivers are. So if I'm deciding between like all these running backs that are at the next turn in the second round, these Walker, Achane, Hampton, like I love all those guys, and I don't really love the wide receivers there.
Yeah, that's
so
fair.
I just can't take James Cook there because I'm always taking JSN or Amon-Ra or CD and then coming around and grabbing these other running backs. But James Cook's awesome.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, Jefferson or James Cook?
James Cook.
Okay. Yeah, TD regression has not existed for James Cook. His opportunities ballooned from 245 to 349 last year.
There's rumors that they're going to pass more. I could see them getting Cook more involved in the passing game. He's got room to go up there.
If they run more, it's James Cook. If they pass more, he'll have more receptions.
He's so good.
Yes.
And he's on the Bills. Like, he's on one of the best offenses in the league.
on the Bills.
I mean, it's just like, we're talking about Achane and the Dolphins. You're going to have so many touchdown opportunities.
Yeah.
It's just tough because I've never drafted him.
Yeah, I mean, his quarterback will score 12 times on the ground, and he'll still be fine. That's the wild thing.
Yeah, those odds that I was giving earlier in the top 5, both James Cook and Josh Allen were in the top 5, and there's 32 teams.
And he's on the Bills.
The Bills.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back with our top 4. Well, general overview of the top 4. They're very good at football.
Number 4.
Jonathan Taylor comes in at number 4. I've got him, I guess, the lowest at 6. Jason at 4. Mike at 5. He's being drafted at 4. He's really good.
Oh, Jason stank facing.
Yeah, I'm. I don't know, man. I'm getting a little bit sour on the Colts. Like it's so weird because I like the opportunity that Josh Downs has. I've talked about him a lot as one of the latest wide receivers that I really like. I love Tyler Warren, dog. I just don't know if the vibes are great right now for the Colts. Their schedule is very, very difficult. They open Baltimore, Kansas City, Houston, Pittsburgh in week 5. It's like it's going to be tough sledding. So I don't know. I find myself not excited for Jonathan Taylor, but if you remember, and I've talked about this, like last year before Daniel Jones went down, he was the runaway running back 1. He was
he's done before, by the way, in 2021.
He was points ahead of Christian McCaffrey until Daniel Jones went down, and he's a freak of nature.
I mean, you could point out he's coming off a tremendous workload. So back when he was the running back 1 in 2021, he had 383 opportunities, followed it up with 2 injury-plagued seasons. He got back up to that number last year, 378 opportunities. That can be tough on a running back to stay healthy, something you can pay attention to, and that is, he's missed games 1, 2, 3, 4 years of his career. Maybe that's in the back of your mind. I think Daniel Jones playing at an MVP level, them winning 8 out of 9 games, certainly helped last year. He's been a great running back when his team has been good. He's slowed down a little bit when obviously he hasn't had the quarterback play or the offense, but no complaints.
Scored 20 fantasy points per game last year on the season. That's including the second half with Grandpa Rivers throwing him the ball. Also the vacated targets on this team. We just like we talked about with Achane losing Waddle, the targets often go to the running back,
and he can catch it.
He can catch it. Is this similar to James Cook, where
he's pretty close? I have James Cook ahead of Jonathan Taylor now.
Yeah, I'm just saying draft. Like in the draft, are you able to grab, one of those JSN, Amon-Ra?
He's at 106.
Oh yeah, you're in the same category. He's at 106 versus 109 for Cook.
Yeah, I think I'd rather.
Oh no, Jason!
You take CeeDee Lamb?
I think I'd rather have not CeeDee, but if I could grab JSN or Amon-Ra.
Puka.
Oh, definitely. I mean, Puka and Jahmyr Chase ahead, but those 4 wide receivers, I think I would take over Jonathan Taylor.
I mean, I feel like we're made a mistake not talking about Puka could get a suspension too.
Yeah, that's been he who Mike shall not name was reporting. Was reporting that both Puka and Jacobs, there are still discussions going on in the NFL as to potential suspensions.
Number 3.
Christian McCaffrey comes in at number 3. We all have him at number 3. He's being drafted as number 3, but he'll probably be number 1, right?
It's there's really not much of a discussion to have here. It's if McCaffrey stays healthy, he's probably the number 1 running back, or
he's top 3 guaranteed.
At the floor of a healthy Christian McCaffrey, he's the running back 3, but a difference maker at finishing at running back 3. It just means 2 other guys happen to have like crazy seasons.
He's coming off a season with 440 opportunities.
Yeah.
If you remember, the last time this has happened, I think DeMarco Murray in 2014 had 449. That's a lot.
I think the last time Christian McCaffrey had that many, including the...
Oh, no, he's actually never had that many in a season.
I'm just saying his 2019 season, he had 428 in season. Man. And then he was, of course, missed the next year with injury.
There's no one you feel more nervous about injury with. Still.
And that's fair.
But, I mean, anybody can get hurt other than you told me Bijan can't.
Last year.
Which you were right about.
And I was right. I mean, I will say this. The injury stuff that we talk about with these players and you go, well, anyone can get injured. That's true. I don't really care about injury history that much for most guys. But what I do care about when it comes to the potential for injury is age.
Sure.
So, like, when I look at Saquon and Christian McCaffrey coming off of large workloads and they're 30, that's where it's like, it's just, it's more difficult to recover quickly should an injury happen.
Is it more comforting to say 3 of the past 4 years he has been number 1 or number 2?
That's very comforting.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. That's nice.
Like those the 2 Carolina years. I mean, that's just
he's so good.
Fluky stuff. He's so good. The offense, they keep losing their wide receivers. Christian McCaffrey last year, 129 targets. There's not a world where he doesn't get 100-plus targets again, and it's just somehow remains unstoppable because he caught 102 of them for 924 yards. That's 9.1 yards per catch. Like, these are high numbers for a running back. It's very effective. He's had 7 receiving touchdowns in 2 of the past 3 years, and the one when he had none is because that was one of the years he got hurt. It's time to ask yourself, what do you believe? Will he get hurt or will he not?
Yeah, I mean, I think the only reason he's not going at number 1 is because you have 2 guys this year.
Yes.
That are significantly younger, that have already proven it, and so you get to take the odds, right?
Yes.
You get to take odds with you that these guys are going to be better, starting with
number 2,
Bijan Robinson.
Yeah, he's pretty good. Before the last thought I had on McCaffrey, because I'm looking at this strategically for 2026. You're in that first round of the draft. Personally, I find that those top 4 wide receivers that I love, I'm leaning towards them over James Cook and over Jonathan Taylor. And I can't decide when I'm there and I'm staring at JSN, Amon-Ra, and Christian McCaffrey, which one is the right pick. Can you guys just tell me?
It's probably CMC.
Unfortunately, I cannot. I knew what it was last year, but I don't know this year.
Yeah, I mean, a more valuable thing for your team is if you get Christian McCaffrey playing at a high level. That's the most valuable thing. Bijan, number 2, has gotten better every single year, got paid this offseason. Oh, wait, that's the same thing with
number 1,
Jahmyr Gibbs, gotten better every single year, got paid this offseason. Both are 24 years old.
Both lost their backups that encroached on touchdowns for them.
One's on a really good team.
Yeah, I mean, that's the biggest difference is one is on a team projected to score, top 3 in the NFL, and one is, a 500 at best team that is not projected to score as much.
The path for Bijan to outscore Jahmyr Gibbs it's Tua. Tua is the quarterback for the vast majority of the season, and we continue to see the highest check down to the running back rate. That we continue to see that.
I think
that's to me like that's kind of the only way.
But think about
now.
what you just said with your words in your mouth.
Yeah.
You just said that the thing that
I know
is best for him is Tua.
That's why he said. That's why I have
too.
moved Bijan to 2. I'm with you guys on Gibbs.
it says something though to me. What you looked up earlier, Gibbs is the number 1 highest odds of double-digit touchdowns. Bijan did not crack that list of the top 6. That says something to me. That's a differentiator. I think Gibbs has the potential this season to have one of those years, an LT style, CMC style.
I feel like he has the chance to score the most fantasy points ever at the running back position.
I mean, you look at what Dan Campbell's philosophy was as an offense with a team with Montgomery who could catch the football. When he took over as the play caller, Gibbs had the 7th most receptions of any player in the NFL. That's what you need. That's the LT. That's a CMC. You want this guy to be like standalone as if he was just a wide receiver with the receiver numbers, he's in the top 5 at the position. And so that is in the realm of possibilities because the offense, Detroit favored in 14 of 17, potential to score a ton of points. That's the differentiator. Both guys are going to be awesome. Both guys could easily finish number 1. It's funny because neither has. Right. I mean, they haven't had that year. It's like when Chase had never finished at 1, and we're like, we always drafted him at the top because you know it's coming. You know, it's just the offensive system. It's the same reason you said you like Hampton more than Jeanty.
This is a year where frequently I don't want the number 1 pick. Like you'll have, kind of a tier of, here's 5 or maybe even 6 guys. Like, I want to start my draft with them. So I'd rather start where my second pick is going to be better. The way that ADP and the market looks like it's shaking out this year, I want the number 1 pick. I want Gibbs because on the way back that turn, I'm going to get 2 other.
The 2-3 turn is great.
Yes, I love the players going in that range. So if I could stack it with the guy who has the highest potential of carrying teams into the fantasy playoffs and fantasy championships, I will actually want the number 1 pick this year.
Yeah, we talked about Gibbs is, as far as the sportsbook odds to have 10 regular season rushing touchdowns, he's number 1 in the league. And Bijan is number 8 in the league. But Jahmyr Gibbs, to have double-digit touchdowns is minus 370. That means if you want to make $100, you have to bet $370. It's that kind of.
Yeah, you want me to.
That's wild.
You want me to blow your mind? Here are players that had more carries inside the 5 than Bijan and Gibbs last year. Sean Tucker, Blake Corum, Ja'Cory Cross-Merritt, Chris Rodriguez, Ramondre. Both players should have more opportunities in that regard.
Where's my bill drop?
Bill.
All right, there it is.
So it's like you take Gibbs, 19-plus fantasy points per game, 2 straight years. Bijan, 18-plus, 2 straight years, and you give them goal line, and then Gibbs is on a good team. I don't know. These are easy picks. I think in a different season, CMC is the number 1 pick. If these guys are not just entering their prime at 24 years old, I don't think there's any reason why you couldn't. I will say this: if you want to shoot the shot on CMC, I don't think you're doing a wrong thing there. I mean, San Francisco should win games. He did stay healthy all last year. He takes care of himself. His injuries have been freak injuries. If you want to do it, do you think that's wrong?
I don't think it's wrong. You're just the level of fire that you need to be there is maybe not worth it. But like the argument for McCaffrey. So 2 of the last 3 years, because we're sandwiched with he played 4 games and did nothing for fantasy. But 22.4 points per game and 21.5 points per game. Neither Jahmyr or Bijan in their first 3 years has surpassed 20 points per game. So the ceiling for McCaffrey might be a little higher, but when you're weighing out the risk of what those other 2 guys are, I'll take them.
Yeah. I since we've been talking through the top 10 and we've been talking about 10 rushing touchdowns and the odds, a couple other interesting tidbits to close out the top 10. I noticed that so Bijan was 8th. Jeanty is 13th. Highest odds at the running back position.
Who's between Bijan and Jeanty?
Between Bijan and Jeanty is Saquon Barkley, Amarian Hampton, David Montgomery.
Yeah. I mean, they're a good team.
Ken Walker the third, and then Jeanty.
Okay. Where's Chase Brown?
Chase Brown.
For 10
Yeah, he's got to be
rushing touchdowns?
nowhere, right?
Chase Brown.
You'd have to combine the rushing receiving.
Is a little further down. He is Devon Achane is 23rd.
Yeah.
So Chase Brown is ahead of that, but yeah.
All right, let's do some mailbag.
Mailbag.
Oh, yeah. Alec in Wisconsin. By the way, if you have a question, go to the site, thefantasyfootballers.com. Click that submit a question button or dial our voicemail hotline, 302-464-TFFB. Alec in Wisconsin says, hey, Baller, simple question. If I'm a rebuilding team in Dynasty, would you trade away Jonathan Brooks off his hype or hold out and hope he takes over and you have a better value? I would be the latter. I would do the latter. I don't think the trade value on Jonathan Brooks is as good as it could get.
So let's just say if you could get a 27 late first.
Oh, I would do that.
I may do that.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it's more of a can you get a second?
I think you could definitely get a second.
I would not do it for a second.
I think you can definitely get a second for Jonathan Brooks right now. So
he's
I think
very young.
So we're both. I think all three of us are the same, which is if you can get a first for Jonathan Brooks,
yes, do it.
I would do it,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't do it for a second.
Johnny Johnson writing in from Grand Junction. Johnny Johnson in Grand Junction.
I don't think
Grand
that's a
Junction.
real
Colorado.
That's not a real name.
It is a real name. He used to play running back for the Cardinals when I was.
We had a Johnny
Johnson.
What was his middle name?
Jonathan.
Mm-hmm.
Steve.
Who does?
What has been?
My last name's Johnson. What should we name our son? John.
I don't get it.
It literally says son of John.
What has been your least favorite draft spot to draft from and why?
Not the first.
Least favorite spot? I think my least favorite is
wherever I have to take Jefferson. I mean,
Yeah.
that might be my real answer.
Yeah.
Wherever I feel backed into Jefferson. Because the problem is you get maybe 2 swings at that decision. If you're at 9, 10, 11.
Yeah.
You might, or 8, you pass on him. Oh gosh, I didn't take him. I took Jeanty.
Yeah.
All right. Oh no, he's there again.
Yeah, I think right now my least favorite spot is around like 9 to 12. Those
Yeah.
That's where I don't want to be this year.
It hasn't felt great. All right, we're going to wrap it up. We got a mock draft show tomorrow, and we're bringing the mock draft mayhem back by popular request. And on Friday, one of our biggest episodes, top 10 tips and tricks. Don't miss it. We'll talk to you then.
Goodbye.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Fantasy Footballers Podcast. Join our fantasy football community on jointhefoot.com and follow us on Twitter @TheFFBallers.